This is the best player in the world. I don't care what anyone tells me. I don't care what debates they're trying to throw on his name. Lamine Yamal is definitely football's number one most devastating, most creative, most aesthetically pleasing, most decisive player in world football. Give me the ball, I'll do it myself. That was the mindset over the two legs, and it very nearly paid off. Atletico Madrid beat Barcelona over two legs to reach the Champions League semi-final 3-2 overall. But Lamine Yamal was the best player on the pitch once again in a two-legged tie in crunch time for Barcelona. It's just unfortunate that Barcelona's naivety, especially in the back of especially at the back towards their goal defensively, is what let them down, and their lack of discipline. But Lamine Yamal, he can go out with his head held high because he was on a man on a mission. He meant business. People are gonna talk about, oh, he was doing it for aura picks, he was doing it for edits, he was trying to do the LeBron James type thing. But generally, this is who Lamine Yamal is. This is what makes him the best player in the world. This is what makes him the player that he is today, and this is what's gonna make him take his game to another level. That mentality to keep going until the final whistle. That mentality to try and make things happen. That mentality to keep motivating the players. Like, he's showing why he is the most valuable player in the world right now. Every touch, every pass, every dribble comes with a purpose, calculated risk. Did you see what he was doing last night? Last night, that 25 minutes. In fact, throughout the whole game, you see what he was doing? There were 6 players around Lamine Yamal. He manages to dribble past all 6 of those players and he got a shot off. Where do you see that in world football nowadays? No one can do that. Number one. Number two, he could have had 2 assists. In fact, he should have had 3 assists last night. But unfortunately, Barcelona's attackers couldn't take the chances that he put on the plate for them. 4 big chances created in the game. 4 big chances. All of them was missed. He took his goal very well. First chance, bang. This is who he is, man. People talk about his lack of finish, and his finishing can improve. But that finish last night was a very good finish through the legs of the goalkeeper to put Barcelona on the cusp of turning around the remontada and going through to the semi-finals. Even though that didn't happen, I'm just going to talk about Lamine Yamal and how he elevated this game this season. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. The way he's elevated this game this season, because his partner in crime Rafinha has had injury issues this season, so he had to take more of the mantle of being Barcelona's main man, and he's done that in full effect. Turn of the year, he's been on a man on a mission. Ridiculous mindset, scoring goal after goal after goal, getting assists, creating chances, elevating the team, carrying the team at certain points, carrying the ball, dribbling past 3, 4, 5, even 6 man. He's literally, give me the ball, I'll try win us the game. Give me the ball, I'll win you lot the game. That's the mindset. Carry job. This is what he is. This is what it looks like. This is football. This is genuinely football. Look at his stats this season. Obviously, what is it? 44 games, 23 goals, 17 assists. Not bad for a player that doesn't get goal contributions. Not bad for a player that lacks GA. Not bad for a player that doesn't score when the lights are on. They're talking about Lamine Yamal in big games. Just because your performance is below par the levels that you've shown, that doesn't mean that a player had a bad game. It's just that his standard is ridiculously high. Is everyone going to talk about Lamine Yamal's big game gimmick against Atletico Madrid? This is where winning bias comes into play here. Just because his team didn't win, they'll say Lamine Yamal didn't do enough for his team to win. Oh, he bloody did. In the first leg, he done everything he could. But like I said, the discipline and the naivety in Barcelona's defense cost them yet again. And now, last night's game, same old, same old. Barcelona was the better team in my opinion, but Atletico Madrid had chances to kill off the tower on the transition. You can say that's Hansi Flick's style of play, but I genuinely believe some of these Barcelona defenders, I can't believe they play for Barcelona. I genuinely can't believe it because they're not near the level. Cabrasi is a Barcelona player, but I do think he needs someone of experience and with older age to guide him properly, innit? Eric Garcia is not a Barcelona player. Arejo cold back in 2023, but since then that injury killed him. Not the same. Unreliable. This is what Lamine Yamal has to deal with. Whilst other players that he's compared to in world football has a team that is sorted from goalkeeper to attack, in the midfield, Chris, the defense, Chris, so they can do their thing. And if things are not coming off, they don't have to worry because other players will back them. Other players will rise to the occasion. With Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Pedri, you could say that he was below par over the 2 legs in my humble opinion, and Rafinha's injured. He had to do the likes of Fermin Lopez, who's a baller, Dani Olmo, who had a good game yesterday, but overall, I'm not really sold. He had to deal with players that was nowhere near his level, especially in attack. And he almost elevated them to get past. Ferran Torres, I think he's a good player. I genuinely believe Ferran Torres is a good player, but he can be inconsistent. But you see the way he took them finishes? Brilliantly. And this is what Lamine Yamal was been craving for. Someone that can be on the same wavelength in this game and that can actually take the chances that even though Lamine Yamal didn't create for him, but you can also like show that mentality and say, yo, we're trying to reach this semi-final. I'm not going down without a fight. So yeah, man, that's just how it is. Unfortunately, he couldn't. Lamine Yamal done his thing, but Barcelona couldn't prevail. But the season that he's having, 23 goals, 17 assists, 27 appearances, 15 goals, 11 assists, and these are the match ratings. No, this is the match ratings. 9.00. Let's go through. Let me see. Let me go through his stats. I already went through his stats last night actually, but yeah, these are the match ratings. 9.0, 9.3, 8.3, 8.6. Obviously, international duty and whatnot. We call that 7.4, 8.4 against Newcastle. Obviously, I don't think he was great that game, to be fair. But you can see the consistent levels that he's performing at on a consistent basis. That this is no joke. This is genuinely not a joke. His form has taken Barcelona on the brink of La Liga glory. On the brink. This is his stats. The dribbling. You could say he's the best dribbler in world football because every 1v1, every 2v1, every 3v1, he still manages to get something. He still manages to leave with something. That takes some doing. That is talent. Generational talent. This is exactly what it looks like. 133 successful dribbles. 55%. Duels won. This is jokes. This is genuinely jokes. And what can I say? Elite. If it was on my premise of the Ballon d'Or, he will be right up there in terms of Ballon d'Or. Because we look at who's the best player in the world, and Lamine Yamal is definitely that player. Obviously, you got the likes. I'm not even gonna mention names. You got other players that's challenging them for that, status, in my opinion, and they're knocking on the door. But to me, Lamine Yamal has that X factor. He has that gene. He has that I am him mentality, and that is what I look for in a big player, X factor players. So Lamine Yamal, unfortunately, couldn't get a Champions League medal this season, but there's a World Cup to look forward to, and who knows what can happen in the World Cup. He can do his thing, but it's the Spanish players are going to rise with him. We only have to wait and see. But as I'm saying right now, as it stands, the sky, like I said, it's already been the limit. Wonder Kid into a special player, into the best player in the world. It's scary where he can finish his career. Hopefully he doesn't get burned out. Hopefully he doesn't pick up too much injuries. Hopefully he keeps his focus onto football, because if he does that, listen, I'm not going to say too much, but we are blessed to be watching him live in the flesh. We are blessed. Absolutely blessed, man. Wonderful player. Let me know your thoughts on Lamine Yamal. Where do you rank him in terms of best players in the world? What do you see him doing in the World Cup? And what is the reason for Barcelona's naivety in the Champions League? Their last Champions League win was 2015. That's an awful long time. Lamine Yamal, with at the head of everything, as the main player, will definitely break that duck in the next 3 to 4 years, in my opinion. But until then, we have to call it what it is. And in the Champions League, their hoodoo is strong. Hansi Flick got a big job on his hands. Thank you guys for watching.